I'm down in Northern Neck, Virginia with my buddy James. We got the van. Let's check this thing out. This is what James and I are going to be building out over the next few days, or weeks should I say. Here we go. This is going to be living quarters in here. It's a lot bigger than it looks. 2018 Dodge Promaster 2500, high roof. That's just for James, obviously, because I could get away with a much lower, a VW Beetle. Yeah, I could have done this 50 state tour in a Bug. But we are basically going to be building out the van this weekend as far as insulating goes. So I did a ton of research trying to figure out what to do. Spent multiple days just watching YouTube videos and reading as much as I could. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to put a subfloor in the van and just insulate it, get the walls insulated probably in the next 2 days. But we got a lot of work to do. We got to clean this beast out first. But we're going to head over, where are we going, Lowe's?
Lowe's.
We're going to Lowe's. We're going to keep a running count for how many times we go to Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace Hardware. I have a feeling it's going to be quite a bit because neither of us are exactly carpenters. We don't have a lot of experience with this kind of thing. I've never built a van. James, how many vans have you built?
I've built one table.
He's built a table.
That's it. It was a nice table though.
So it's the 10th of February. We're leaving on the 28th. So we have 18 days to build out this van, make it livable, and a John boat. Got some 1/2-inch plywood, 1/2-inch polyiso insulation, a little bit of Reflectix, some tape, some glue. We're gonna try to get the floor done today. Should be, I don't know, I want to say easy, but nothing's ever really easy. First things first, we're gonna clean this bad boy out. It's not too bad, it's a little dirty, but we're gonna clean it up, vacuum it, sweep it, throw some bleach down, and just make it as clean as we can before we insulate it. It's pretty clean now. We got her cleaned up, floor's looking good. Cleaner. It's not the cleanest thing, but it's good. It'll work. So now we're gonna take some cardboard, make a solid 10 plate for the floor, and then we're gonna cut some of the polyiso insulation and then do the plywood. This is probably gonna take a little while. Well, we made some templates with cardboard. Got 2 of them finished and realized we should probably start laying out the front and work our way back. So we're
sure we're not idiots.
Yeah, just to make sure we're not gonna leave too many big gaps. So we're cutting the polyiso insulation, and then we're gonna lay that out first, glue that to the ribs of the van, and then go ahead and cut out the plywood for the floor. It's been a long day, but getting stuff done.
Finishing up this last part. Just trying to get an outline for this final piece of foam board. The rest of that's looking real nice.
It looks great. James crushed it. It's fitting real nice. Everything's looking good.
Yeah, and once we get that, we can use these again as templates for the wood. I mean, we did a pretty good job just hitting those lines, trying to make it fit as good as perfectly as we can. Thank God for the heater though. It's like 30 degrees, but it's like 72 up in here.
Yeah.
All right.
That. I'm still shaking. I'm like,
yeah, this little dude's not meant for the cold.
got the last board in. Check it out. It's not the best creation in the world, but it's pretty good. And it'll definitely work. I'm not too concerned about looks at this point. We still need to get this done in like 10 days, and there's so much work to do. But we got the insulation down. Now we got to do the plywood. But I'm really impressed with how this thing fits in here. And it's really snug too. So that's good. So now we're going to use the insulation as a template for the plywood. So we pulled it all out. Gonna trace the plywood, cut that, and see how it fits in the van. Look at that. Get her down. It looks good.
A new venture in life.
I think we're gonna be van builders.
Yeah.
And again, it's not perfect, but I am pretty damn happy with how that turned out. Looking good. It fits.
Yeah, I'm pretty psyched. Yeah, high five on that. What's up?
High five. High five number one.
Duct tape around the edges to make sure it's a good seal.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty. Yeah.
You did good. Day one was good.
You know, I think that the mystery gang, they'd be happy with us. Scooby would be very pleased with us.
I think so too.
So I don't know. This might be a kind of wrap for tonight. So
I think so.
Because we got to plan out other stuff for tomorrow, and
right.
I think before we kill ourselves, since it's still kind of early, we can clean up, sit in here, kind of think about what we're gonna do next, and go from there.
That's the move.
Yeah, I think so. Good job, Matt.
Good job, James.
Whoop!
First high five of the build. Actually, I guess that's the second.
Well,
but
first documented.
First documented. We are gonna wrap things up for today. Call it a night. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Got a problem. What? It's wet. There's supposed to be a gasket that goes around this door, and this did not come with it. Which means we got a little wet. Trip number 2 to Lowe's.
See what we just get.
Butterfingers.
Butterfingers. And we just got a little gasket to finally run around the top. We'll have to get one more, but that should hopefully have it sealed out so we can keep any more rain out. So, back to the house. It's a little long for 18. I don't think it'll make a huge difference, but we can always cut down some.
Well, we made it back to the shop. Right now we're cutting out some insulation for the walls. James is making those precise measurements for me to go back through and cut the XPS. We're gonna get to cutting. We've got all of the insulation for the walls done. There's a couple spots where we're a little bit iffy and not sure what to do, but it's enough. Gonna eat some dinner and then come back out, take everything out of the van, give it a once over, clean it up one more time because we made a little bit of a mess. And then we're gonna glue the floor down and then start working on the paneling for the walls. But it's not the best, it's not the worst. It'll help keep us a little bit warm and cool when we need to. Luckily this trip isn't gonna be in any like extreme weather areas, so should be fine. But we've got, everything pretty much figured out for the walls. We have to do the ceiling next, but I think that'll be either later tonight or tomorrow. And then, yeah, that's about it.
Alright, we're about to finally start putting in the floor. So we got a little stuck. A little adhesive that we're going to use to do that. We're going to put the first foam piece in. And then just keep going from there, guys.
We glued down all the insulation to the floor. Then we went around and sealed everything with this 3M tape. We threw the wood subflooring back on top of that. Just gonna put a bunch of weights on it, leave a bunch of cinder blocks on top overnight, just so it dries really well. We were hoping
a tarp so we don't mess up the floor.
Of course, the tarp. We were hoping to do the plywood to the insulation as well, but we literally had barely enough.
We had the perfect amount to do the foam.
Perfect amount. And then we're gonna go ahead and start working on this very questionable wall insulation. It'll work. It works. Finished up here with my buddy James. Got the insulation for the floor and the walls done. We glued it in last night. Everything's looking pretty good. I'm gonna continue working on this van back home. He's let me borrow some of his tools. I'm gonna throw a hitch on this thing. We were planning on doing that, but we don't have the right size T-bolt. That's what we'll say, or T-nut. I don't know what it's called.
We don't have either.
It's a T30. So I gotta go home and get one of those too. But that's what we've got done over the last 2 days. I'm gonna finish some more stuff. Gotta run some lights for the trailer, gotta throw the hitch on. We have to glue the plywood to the insulation on the floor and then figure out what we're gonna do with the walls. And we only have 16 days before we leave. And I gotta build the boat, but it's no big deal. Drove home from James's yesterday. Everything stayed intact, which is good. Actually, this insulation made it significantly more quiet when driving, which is pretty nice. But a couple of things I want to do today. I'm going to order some sound dampening material to put over the wheel wells. I'm gonna go to the store to get more adhesive to glue down the plywood to the foam board on the bottom. And it looks like it held up pretty well. I was just testing that back piece and it's on here pretty good. Like, that ain't going anywhere, so it's a good thing. Now all I have to do for the floor is glue that to the foam board and then lay out the vinyl flooring that I got. So I'm gonna do that in the next video for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. This is probably gonna be like a 3 or 4 part video of building the van. We're gonna be getting some help from one of James's friends and probably some of mine as well, because this is way over my head. I'm gonna do as much as I possibly can, but you know, there's not much that you could do without good friends, that's for sure. Also, this trip, it's like very cool. I've had so much help. So many of you guys have reached out. I've had so many suggestions just for everything. Boat, van, places to fish. Can't thank you guys enough. But that's where I'm gonna leave you off. Make sure you stay tuned for the next one. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.